The flash from the leaked photo hit Nicole like a lightning strike across every social media platform in the country. One moment she was finalizing the set list for her biggest headline show at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, and the next her phone was exploding with notifications as the image of her lips pressed against Emersyn spread like wildfire. Within 3 hours, the venue announced the cancellation. Sponsors pulled out citing brand misalignment, and her carefully built career as America's next pop sensation teetered on the edge of collapse. Nicole stared at the screen in her Hollywood Hills home, her hands shaking as headlines screamed, "Rising star's secret lesbian affair exposed." She had spent years running from this truth, and now it had caught her in the most public way possible. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Just 2 weeks earlier, she and Emersyn had reconnected at a quiet industry party. The spark that never truly died had reignited in stolen moments away from prying eyes. But someone had been watching. Someone had snapped the photo outside that small cafe in Silver Lake, where they thought they were safe. Now the entire world knew, or at least thought they knew, and the judgment was swift and merciless. Her manager, Derek, called for the 5th time. "Nicole, we need to get ahead of this. Damage control meeting in an hour. The label is freaking out." She ignored it, sinking onto her couch as memories flooded back uninvited. 10 years ago, the music building at UCLA had smelled like coffee and ambition. Nicole was 20, fresh-faced with big dreams and a voice that could stop conversations. Emersyn had been the quiet photography major who volunteered to shoot the student showcase. Their first real conversation happened after Nicole's performance of an original song about hidden hearts. Emersyn had approached her with her camera slung over her shoulder, dark curls framing her face, and said, "Your lyrics. They felt like they were about something real. Something you can't say out loud yet." They became inseparable. Study sessions turned into late-night drives along the Pacific Coast Highway. Shared secrets turned into tentative touches, then into something deeper. Emersyn had been the first person who made Nicole feel seen completely, without the mask she wore for her conservative family back in Texas. Nicole's parents had always made it clear. Success first, reputation second, and anything that deviated from their traditional values was unacceptable. "We didn't sacrifice everything to come here for you to throw it away on foolishness," her mother would say during tense phone calls. For months, Nicole lived in two worlds. The one where she and Emersyn shared quiet kisses in Emersyn's off-campus apartment, whispering about a future where they wouldn't have to hide. And the one where she smiled through family dinners on breaks, dodging questions about boyfriends and assuring her parents she was focused only on her music career. The pressure built like a slow storm. The present crashed back in as another alert buzzed on her phone. A text from her mother. "Call us immediately. What is this filth we're seeing online?" Nicole's stomach dropped. The past and present were colliding, and she wasn't sure she could survive the impact. She stood up and paced the room, her mind racing through the possible ways out. Deny it? Say it was photoshopped? Blame it on a moment of confusion? The same excuses she'd used a decade ago when she had shattered Emersyn's heart to protect her own future. But something felt different this time. The guilt that had simmered for years now boiled over, making her question every choice that had led her to this moment of public humiliation. Outside, reporters had already gathered at her gate. The cancellation statement from the arena was everywhere. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Nicole's performance has been postponed indefinitely. Comments flooded in, some supportive from the LGBTQ community, many vicious from conservative fans and critics who felt betrayed by her wholesome image. She had cultivated that image carefully after college, dating a few male actors for show, never letting anyone close enough to see the truth. Emersyn. God. What must she be going through right now? Nicole hadn't even been able to reach her since the leak. Her number went straight to voicemail. The thought of Emersyn facing this alone after everything Nicole had put her through before made the guilt twist sharper. She remembered the night everything changed back in college. It was after a big showcase where talent scouts had approached Nicole. Her parents had driven in from Texas, full of pride and expectations. That same night, Emersyn had waited for her with flowers and plans for their future. The contrast had been too much. Nicole had panicked, telling Emersyn it was all a mistake, that she couldn't risk her family's support or her budding career. "This isn't who I am," she had said. the lies burning her throat even as tears streamed down Emersyn's face. I need to focus on what's important. The memory made her wince. She had chosen safety over love, and now both were slipping away. A knock on her door pulled her back. Derek had come in person. Nicole, we can't ignore this. The label wants a statement by morning. Are you ready to fight this or? He trailed off, seeing her expression. She took a deep breath. I don't know anymore, Derek. Maybe it's time to stop fighting who I am. The words hung in the air. The first crack in the wall she had built for 10 long years. But as her phone lit up with another angry message from her father, she wondered if that crack would be enough to bring everything crashing down. Derek left after an hour of arguing strategy, but his words echoed. The label wanted her to issue a vague apology and claim the photo was manipulated. Nicole paced her living room. The city lights of Los Angeles blurring through the floor-to-ceiling windows. She couldn't do it again. Not the same lie that had cost her the only real love she'd known. The phone buzzed with Emersyn's name at last. Heart-pounding, Nicole answered on the first ring. Nicole? What the hell is going on? Emersyn's voice was raw, edged with the same pain from a decade ago. I thought we were careful. I thought this time you weren't going to run. Nicole sank onto the couch, the weight of the past pressing down. I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen. The show. Everything's canceled. My parents are calling non-stop. A bitter laugh came through the line. Your parents? Of course. Same old story. You know, when that photo hit, the first thing I thought was, here we go again. She's going to deny me just like she did in college. The words cut deep, pulling Nicole straight back to those final months at UCLA. The secret romance had been magic at first. Emersyn's apartment became their sanctuary, filled with vinyl records, half-developed photos pinned to the walls, and whispered promises. Nicole would sing soft melodies while Emersyn captured every moment on film. One day we'll be out there together, Emersyn would say, her fingers tracing Nicole's jaw. No more hiding. Nicole had believed it until the family weekend shattered everything. Her parents arrived in their rented SUV, faces beaming with pride over her scholarship and early demo deals. They took her to dinner, grilling her about dating life. Any nice boys catching your eye? Her mother asked, eyes sharp. Nicole dodged, but later that night her father cornered her in the hotel lobby after spotting her, and Emersyn laughing too closely outside the venue. This ends now, he had growled, voice low but firm. We poured everything into getting you here. No daughter of mine is throwing it away on some phase that will ruin your chances. Choose Nicole. Family and your future, or that girl. The ultimatum had landed like a hammer. Terrified of losing their financial support and the approval that defined her, Nicole had driven to Emersyn's place the next morning, tears already falling. I can't do this, she had said, voice breaking. My family. They know. It's too much risk. I'm sorry, Emersyn. This was a mistake. Emersyn had stood frozen in the doorway, the flowers she held dropping to the floor. The silence after Nicole walked away still haunted her dreams. Back in the present, Emersyn's voice pulled her out. I never stopped loving you, even after you broke me. But I won't be your secret again. Not while the world tears you apart for it. The line went dead. Nicole stared at the phone, tears blurring the screen. Social media was a storm now. Hashtags like Boycott Nicole trending alongside supportive Stand With Nicole posts. Her inbox filled with messages from old college friends who had suspected but never spoken. One from her brother read, Mom and Dad are devastated. Fix this before it destroys the family business too. The guilt swelled until she could barely breathe. She opened her laptop and scrolled old photos she had hidden in a password-protected folder. Emersyn's smile in every frame reminded her of the joy she had thrown away. The denial hadn't brought peace. It had only built a cage of loneliness wrapped in platinum records and sold-out tours that now felt hollow. By midnight, another call came, this time from her father. Nicole, and you will issue a statement denying this nonsense. We raised you better than to embarrass us like this. Think of your sister, your nieces. What kind of example are you setting? His voice cracked with disappointment, the same tone from the hotel confrontation years ago. Nicole hung up without answering, the room spinning. The past wasn't buried. It was alive, feeding the chaos of today. She grabbed her keys and headed out into the night, driving aimlessly toward Silver Lake, the cafe from 2 weeks ago now surrounded by photographers. Emersyn was right. The hiding had to end, but the path forward terrified her more than any canceled show. The drive through Los Angeles at 2 a.m. did nothing to clear Nicole's head. She parked near the cafe, watching from the shadows as a few diehard fans snapped photos of the spot where the leak happened. Her heart raced at the sight of rainbow flags already appearing in some windows nearby, small acts of solidarity amid the hate. But the comments on her last post were brutal. Traitor to traditional values, fake role model, disgusting. The judgment from the community she had courted for years stung worse than the lost revenue. She returned home to find Derek waiting again, this time with printed contracts. 3 major sponsors are gone. The label wants a meeting tomorrow. They're hinting at shelving your album if you don't play ball. He paused, seeing her exhausted face. Nicole, whatever you decide, I'm here. But the backlash is getting ugly. Some radio stations are pulling your songs. Nicole nodded, the moral weight crushing her chest. She had built her brand on wholesome, girl-next-door charm. The same mask that had hidden her truth since college. Now it was cracking, and the pieces revealed the girl who had once chosen safety over honesty. The flashbacks came harder now, triggered by every notification. During the college breakup week, Emersyn had tried one last time. They met at their favorite bench overlooking the campus quad. I love you, Emersyn had whispered, eyes red. We can face them together. Nicole had looked away, repeating the lie. I don't feel that way. It was just college experimentation. The words had tasted like poison, but they bought her the approval she craved. Emersyn walked away without another word, camera bag slung low, shoulders slumped. That choice had launched Nicole's career. The demo her father helped fund led to her first record deal. But every award, every chart climb, carried the echo of Emersyn's hurt. She dated men publicly, posted happy couple photos that meant nothing, all while the guilt gnawed deeper. A knock at dawn brought her brother at the door, flown in from Texas on their parents' orders. Sis, this is tearing mom apart. She's crying to the church group. They want you home to get help. His voice was gentle but firm. The same pressure from family gatherings where Nicole had smiled through questions about marriage. They argued for hours. You don't understand, Nicole said, voice rising. I denied who I was for you all. For years. And it almost killed me inside. Her brother shook his head. We love you. This isn't love, it's confusion. Fix it publicly and come home. The confrontation left her drained. She texted Emersyn again. Please meet me. I need to make this right. Hours later, a reply. Coffee shop on Melrose. 1 hour. Don't make me regret it. At the shop, Emersyn sat in the corner, sunglasses hiding tired eyes. You look like hell, she said softly. The conversation spilled out. Accusations, tears, the full weight of the breakup revisited. You chose them over us, Emersyn said. Now the world knows and you're still scared. Nicole reached across the table, their fingers brushing. I was wrong. Every day since, I've regretted it. The meeting ended with no promises, but a fragile understanding. Outside, paparazzi swarmed. Nicole's moral crisis deepened as she drove home. The guilt wasn't just for Emersyn. It was for every lie that had built her empire on sand. The video call with her entire family hit like a storm. Her parents' living room in Texas filled the screen, faces stern and disappointed. Nicole, this scandal is all over the news down here, her father said, voice booming through the speakers. The church elders called. Our business partners are questioning our values. You need to come out and say it was a mistake, a moment of weakness. Her mother wiped tears. We sacrificed so much to give you this life. The late nights working extra jobs so you could have music lessons. And now this? It's breaking our hearts. The guilt Nicole had carried since college flooded back in full force. She remembered the exact day she had packed her things after the breakup, telling her parents everything was fixed, and she was focused on her career. They had hugged her, proud, never knowing the cost. The call escalated into old arguments layered over new ones. Her sister joined in, voice sharp. Think of your nieces. What are we supposed to tell them? Nicole's voice cracked. I can't lie anymore. This is who I am. Hiding it almost destroyed me once. The screen went black after her father declared. Then don't expect us at any shows until you fix this. Alone again, Nicole spiraled. Friends from the industry sent mixed messages. Some distanced themselves, others offered quiet support. A conservative fan group organized an online petition to cancel her music entirely. The public judgment felt endless, each headline reopening the wound of her past denial. Emersyn called that night. I saw the family stuff trending. Are you okay? Their conversation stretched into hours, memories mixing with present pain. Emersyn shared how the leak had forced her to close her photography studio temporarily amid harassment. But I never stopped believing in you, she admitted. The words brought a flicker of hope amid the chaos. Nicole spent the next days in isolation, reflecting on every layer. The college romance, the forced breakup, the years of performative relationships, all to appease the family that now threatened to disown her. The moral conflict peaked when she received a letter from her label. Take a public stance or lose the contract. She met Emersyn again at a quiet park. They walked side by side, hands brushing but not quite holding. I want to fight for us, Nicole said. But it means losing everything else. Emersyn stopped, eyes meeting hers. You already lost me once. Don't do it again. The confrontation with a group of protesters outside her gate the next day sealed her resolve. Signs read repent and protect traditional values. Nicole faced them briefly from her window, the judgment mirroring her internal battle. She had denied her authentic self for family approval, and now both worlds demanded payment. Nicole canceled the label meeting and started planning her own independent comeback show. She booked a smaller venue in downtown LA, pouring her savings into promotion that leaned into honesty instead of apology. Rehearsals became therapy, singing the songs she had written in secret about hidden love, now pouring out raw emotion. Emersyn showed up at one session, camera in hand like old times. If you're doing this, I want to document it, she said. Their moments together were quiet and tender. Shared coffees, long talks, hands finally clasping without fear during a break. You've changed, Emersyn whispered. Or maybe you're finally becoming who you always were. The threats continued. Anonymous emails warned of boycotts. Her family sent one last message. Come home and we'll forgive. Otherwise, don't call. The guilt lingered, but so did the awakening. Nicole reflected on every suppressed moment. The college fear, the fake dates, the nights crying alone after award shows. The past had shaped the present, but it didn't have to define the future. She reached out to supportive fans online, announcing the show as a night of truth. Tickets sold out in hours despite the controversy. Emersyn helped with staging ideas, their connection deepening into something stronger than before. One evening, sitting on Nicole's balcony overlooking the city, Emersyn leaned in, their foreheads touching. Whatever happens on that stage, I'm here. The build-up was tense. Media camped outside the venue. Nicole rehearsed her speech late into the night, the weight of redemption pressing down. Confrontations with old doubts surfaced in dreams. Her father's voice, Emersyn's tears from college. But each rehearsal strengthened her. She had faced the judgment, the guilt, the loss. Now it was time to step into the light. File 6. The night of the comeback arrived. The venue packed beyond capacity with a mix of curious fans, loyal supporters, and even some curious critics. Nicole stood backstage, heart hammering as the lights dimmed. Emersyn squeezed her hand. You've got this. We both do. The crowd roared as she took the stage, the energy electric despite the scandal. She sang her hits first, voice steady, then paused for the moment that would change everything. I've spent years hiding parts of myself to make everyone else comfortable, she said into the microphone, voice clear and strong. Tonight I'm done. This song is for the love I denied, and for the woman who never gave up on me. She gestured to the wings. Emersyn walked out, beautiful and composed, and Nicole reached for her hand. The arena erupted. Cheers, gasps, some boos fading under the wave of applause. They stood together, fingers intertwined under the spotlights. The same simple gesture that had once been their secret now public and powerful. Nicole finished the set with a new ballad about awakening. Emersyn beside her the entire time. After the final note, they slipped off stage together, the crowd chanting for more. Backstage, tears flowed as messages poured in. Family silence for now, but thousands of fans sharing stories of their own journeys. Emersyn pulled her close in a quiet embrace. You did it. We did it. The road ahead would still have challenges, but the painful redemption had begun. Nicole had lost some things, but she had gained herself. True or false? Denying your authentic love to appease family pressure can ever lead to real happiness?